Open your ears and listen carefully. What truly made Henry Ford wealthy was not the invention of an engine. What made him dangerous was his conscious decision to shatter the way of thinking that millions swallowed with their eyes closed. Where people cleansed their conscience by saying, "It has always been this way, and it always will be," he heard that sentence as an alarm bell. Because Ford saw something very early. Being ordinary is not an innocent choice. Being ordinary is a silent betrayal of one's own potential. And this betrayal does not happen in a single morning. It happens slowly, day by day, choice by choice. Every time you say, "I can't." Every time you think, "This is safer." Every time you comfort yourself with, "Everyone does it this way." Everyone wants to belong somewhere, to be accepted, not to be excluded, not to be seen as strange. The human mind interprets these as survival codes. This instinct is an evolutionary legacy thousands of years old. Our ancestors who were cast out of the tribe did not survive. Those who adapted, who fit in, who stayed quiet, survived and multiplied. That is why the urge to conform, to adapt, to become invisible is coded into your DNA. But what set Henry Ford apart from others was this. He understood that belonging to the majority was not security, but a prison. He saw being part of the average as a sign of weakness, and never hid his disgust for it throughout his life. He was willing to be alone, even while walking among the crowd, because he knew that true loneliness is getting lost in the crowd, not hearing your own voice, living someone else's life. Today, I will show you why Ford targeted mediocrity as an enemy, and how this mindset, without you even realizing it, shapes your decisions, your fears, and your limits. If you feel like you are drowning in the same cycles right now, if you seem to be moving forward while actually frozen in place, the reason is not bad luck or poor conditions. The real reason is that you have unknowingly surrendered to average thinking. This video will not offer you sweet motivation or comforting reassurance. On the contrary, it will disturb you, because I will show you the truth. And sometimes, what a person needs most in life is not hope, but a disturbing shock that rips them out of place. Real change is born only from discomfort. No one transforms in comfort, no one evolves, no one is reborn. According to Henry Ford, being ordinary could not be explained by money, diplomas, or luck. It was neither a lack of education, nor an inborn lack of talent, nor misfortune. Ford never attended a university. He had no formal education. He had no diploma. But he educated himself. He read books. He studied mechanics on his own. He observed. He experimented. He failed. He tried again. Because in his eyes, mediocrity was a quietly internalized way of thinking, a mental disease that people adopt without realizing it, do not question, and even defend. This disease is contagious. It comes from family members, spreads through friend circles, and appears at every level of society. That's just how life is, they say. What can we do? This is all we can manage, they say. For people like us, this is enough, they say. And as you grow up hearing these sentences, they become the walls of your mind. Waking up to the same alarm every morning, walking the same routes without questioning, complaining about the same things for years, while still expecting different results. For Ford, this was the real threat. Because the ordinary person lives inside a system designed by others. Wake up at 7, get stuck in traffic, go to work 8 hours, go home, watch television, sleep, repeat the next day. Who designed this system? Who decided that your life should flow this way? Did you choose it, or was it imposed on you? They obey rules they did not choose and mistake this submission for the natural flow of life. They do not question. They do not resist. They simply comply. And without realizing it, they hand their will over to others. The moment you give up your will, you give up your freedom. Because freedom is the ability to choose, to draw your own path, to say no. The tragic part is this: people do not do this by force. They do it willingly, because it feels safe, because it is familiar, because it carries no risk. No one drags you to the office by force. No one forces you to accept that job. You choose it. But do you really choose it, or do you choose out of fear? Because you see no other path? Or because you lack the courage to look for other paths? Henry Ford was born on a farm. In 1863, in Michigan, he was born in a modest farmhouse. His father, William Ford, was a farmer. An honest man, hard-working, but with limited vision. He could not imagine a life beyond. The farm. His father wanted him to cling to the land, to live a regular but predictable life. A secure future, unchanging days, a path drawn from start to finish. From the outside, it did not look like a bad life. There was food on the table. There was a roof over their heads. There was community around them. But Ford's soul did not fit into this life. From an early age, he was different. While other children played in the fields, he examined machines. He took clocks apart and put them back together. Mechanics were magic to him. Every gear, every screw, every mechanism was a mystery, and he was in love with solving those mysteries. He felt rebellion not against the land, but against repetition itself. The idea of copying the same days over and over, of destiny being pre-written, suffocated him at a young age. When he was 13, his father gave him a pocket watch. Ford did not just use it. He opened it, examined the inside, understood how it worked, and then reassembled it. Then he began repairing the watches of neighbors. At 15, he set up a small workshop for himself. But this was not just a mechanical interest. It was a passion for understanding systems, improving systems, redesigning systems. The phrase, "It has always been this way and always will be," echoed in his mind not as comfort, but as a curse, because that sentence kills a person's will. It removes responsibility from life and places it on fate. It says, you cannot change anything, so don't even try. Accept it. Obey. Give up. Even as a child, he grasped a painful truth. If I accept the life lived by the crowd, I will be exhausted where the crowd arrives. This awareness guided not just one decision, but every step he took. At 16, he left the farm. Despite his father's objections, he went to Detroit. A few dollars in his pocket, countless ideas in his head. He worked as a machinist. He learned relentlessly, day and night. He joined the Edison Illuminating Company, rose through the ranks, became chief engineer. But he never stopped. He never said, enough. He shaped the rest of his life quietly, but with ruthless determination. At that time, automobiles already existed, but they were untouchable. In the 1890s, a few inventors in Europe had produced automobile prototypes. They were expensive. A single car cost an average worker 10 years of wages. They were behind closed doors, a luxury for the elite, a toy for the rich, not a means of transportation. Society did not see the automobile as a need, but as a sacred privilege not to be touched. And the most critical point was this: everyone had accepted it. No one asked, why is it this way? Because people had learned to swallow whatever was placed in front of them without questioning. The class system was natural. The rich would remain rich. The poor would remain poor. This order was unchangeable. It had been this way for thousands of years. Henry Ford, however, stopped and asked a dangerous but simple question. Why should this belong only to certain people? This question seems innocent, but in reality, it targets the entire system. Because the ordinary person accepts limits as divine. When told, this is for the rich, they do not object. When told, this is not for people like us, they nod and accept it. They never question where those limits came from. Who placed them there? God? Nature? Or the powerful? Ford saw that limits were not sacred. They were drawn by people and could be erased by people. He did not look for a better position within the existing order. He did not want a higher salary or a better title. He wanted to destroy the system itself. Because the system confined millions, imprisoned them, and robbed them of their potential. And this is exactly what set him apart from everyone else. The scale of his vision, the depth of his courage, his determination to fight the system. Henry Ford had one phrase he absolutely hated. I'm doing my best. To him, this sentence was the most dangerous lie people invented to deceive themselves. Because most of the time, we are not even doing 10% of what we are capable of. We do a fraction of our potential and then say, I did my best. Because the truth is, most people choose not what they are truly capable of, but what they can do without pushing themselves. What is comfortable? What is safe? What carries no risk of failure? They avoid risk and call it effort. But effort is strain. Effort is going beyond your limits. Effort is discomfort, pain, facing defeat. Ford saw this with crystal clarity. Comfort grows nothing. Comfort does not advance. It only distracts. It kills time. It soothes you while rotting you in place. Comfort is the grave of potential, the enemy of growth, the opposite of progress. And while you linger in comfort, life quietly moves ahead of you. While your competitors work, you rest. While opportunities come and go, you wait. While time flows away, you postpone. This transition is not loud. It does not look like a great disaster. You do not wake up one morning saying, I lost everything. But years later, when you look back, you realize you have remained frozen in place. Same spot, same problems, same limitations. Your dreams at 20 are still dreams at 40. Your plans at 30 are still plans at 50. Mediocrity is deadly precisely because of this, because it works silently. It causes no pain, no suffering, no warning signals. It steals your time without you noticing. One day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. Then suddenly 10 years have passed and nothing has changed. It dulls your true power. That power exists within you. Innate, immense, limitless potential. But just as an unused muscle withers, unused power disappears. It gradually makes you dependent on decisions made by others. First, you give up small decisions. Then, medium ones. Eventually, others make even the biggest decisions of your life. Your boss tells you what job to do. Advertisements tell you what to buy. Society tells you how to live. And you become a passenger in your own life, not the driver. Henry Ford did not hate mediocrity because of money. Yes, he became rich, one of the richest men in history. But he did not see money as the goal. He saw it as a tool. What drove him was freedom. He did not want to wake up according to someone else's schedule. Who said you must wake up at 7 in the morning? Who made that rule? He did not want to think within walls drawn by others. When told it can't be done, he asked, why can't it be done? He refused to sell his time for a paycheck. A paycheck is the price of your time. An hourly wage is the value placed on pieces of your life. And Ford understood that if you sell your time, you sell your life. And very early, he saw a sharp truth. Wage slavery makes no noise. In ancient times, there was slavery. Chains, whips, open violence. Everyone saw it. Everyone knew it. In the modern age, slavery is more elegant. There are no chains, there are contracts. No whips, there are performance reviews. No open violence, there is silent pressure. It does not spill blood, but it is a system that slowly and quietly destroys a person from the inside. A person does not die in this system. The heart beats, the lungs breathe, the body functions, but they do not feel alive. Monday comes and you say, "I wish it were the weekend." Friday comes and you say, "Finally." You spend 48 weeks of the year unhappy, trying to be happy during 4 weeks of vacation. Is this life? Now stop and be brutally honest with yourself. While complaining about the same things every day, are you not continuing to live the same life? You complain about the same job and go to the same job. You are unhappy in the same relationships and repeat the same patterns. You are bored with the same situation and make the same choices. While shouting that you want to change, are you not clinging tightly to the habits that keep you locked in place? Instead of waking up early, you hit the snooze button. Instead of exercising, you watch television. Instead of reading, you scroll through social media. You choose what is safe but meaningless over what is risky but meaningful. If the answer that comes from within is yes, then you are rapidly approaching the mindset Henry Ford felt disgust for. This is not an insult. I am not belittling you. On the contrary, I am worried about you. This is not humiliation. This is a warning delivered just in time. Perhaps it is the last warning, because time is passing. Every day passes, and every day that passes is a day that will never return. What Henry Ford wanted to convey was this: the cruelty of life is not the problem. The presence of hardship, obstacles, failures is not the issue. The real danger is life putting you to sleep without you noticing. Mediocrity does not shout. It does not knock on your door and say, "I will destroy you." It does not issue threats. It acts subtly, advances slowly. It is quiet. It whispers in your ear, "You'll start tomorrow, not today." It is familiar. It tells you, "Everyone does it this way, so should you." It makes you feel safe. It convinces you, "Don't take risks. Don't lose. Stay secure." But that is exactly why it is deadly. Because without making noise, without rushing, it quietly rots a person from within. It gnaws at your soul. It extinguishes your dreams. It extinguishes your fire. And one day, you look in the mirror and do not recognize yourself. You ask, "When did I become this?" In the next video, we will go even deeper into Henry Ford's most disturbing ideas. We will talk about why he openly declared war on wage slavery, how the $5 day revolutionized labor, how the assembly line changed the world, and we will talk about why people passionately defend a system that suffocates them, why they protect their own chains. If you found a piece of yourself in what I have told you, subscribe. Because this is the stop for those who refuse to be ordinary. This is the gathering point for those who choose to wake up. This is the channel for those who want to take their lives back. Subscribe. Stay tuned. Don't be a slave.